Welcome back, gentlemen. If you're new here, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. This is the Dad's Destined for Greatness podcast slash show hosted by myself, Ian Brown. I created this show because being a dad means a lot to me, and I wanted to share what I'm learning with other dads. And I'm also looking forward to learning from y'all guys, basically from your comments or things you want to add. I would love to have some folks comment and let me know what they want me to discuss. Want to make this thing fluid. So far, we've gone over like principles, things I think are like my core foundation, things I think we should have as core foundation. Be great dads. And then I'm just looking at different things that happen on the daily, with daily within my life, with my kids, life lessons I'm learning. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to the Bedros Keuilian podcast. Amazing. Um, that's my main bread and butter right now, when it comes to like business, personal development, and growth. For anything to do with finances, as far as like stocks, I listen to Market Mondays by Earn Your Leisure. And so I'm just going to be dropping gems, of things that I'm learning. Look forward to hear from y'all. So today's show episode is going to be about setting priorities. And I feel like this one's going to have to be broken down into a few things. So I said this first episode will be um, setting your priorities. So, how do we do that? So, first thing you're going to do is I personally use Microsoft OneNote, or you can use a paper pen, however you choose, is to write down all your current roles and responsibilities down on one sheet of paper or in one place that you can reference. And I want you to take your professional roles and responsibilities and also list that amongst your personal um, endeavors, things you got going on. Reason why is because, yes, we may be professionals, um, but we all have a personal life, right? And I am not one that believes that you should separate your person and leave that person at home when you come to your job. A lot of people seem to think that that's the definition of professionalism, um, especially in the military. People say that a lot, which I'm in the military, and I highly disagree. I believe that the person you are at home is what is shaping or defining who you are in the workplace, right? So for myself, I'm highly loyal. I can always be counted on. I work good under pressure. I'm a collaborator by nature. I love working with other people, helping other people. I love networking. These are all things that are from my upbringing and the way I was raised and how I live life. And I bring those qualities with me into the workplace. Right? So that's why you want to mix them together. So you're going to take your professional duty responsibilities and your personal duty responsibilities and mix them all together. What does that look like? So for me, it looks like I write down in my I write down that, of course, I'm active duty military. That's my job. Main role it comes with international travel, so I travel occasionally. Right now, I hit 20 years. And I'm eligible for retirement, so I'm trying to contemplate whether I want to retire or not. In that same token, relying with my job in the military, I'm also trying to decipher if I want to try to advance to Master Chief and do everything that's required for me to try and hopefully make Master Chief or to look favorable when it comes to the panel or the boards. How do I do that, right? I know that I have a lot of seat time. I know I have some command center experience. I know I have international experience. I have experience working with other joint DoD partners, working with international stakeholders, working with foreign governments, foreign military sales, right? You would have thought that'd put me at the top of the list. Well, unfortunately, it does not, because the Coast Guard sets these precedences every year, what they're looking for that year, and they constantly change. They're always moving the mark, so that keeps you at a constant disadvantage, and they do it intentionally. The one things that they pointed out is that this year for Master Chiefs, which I was number 14 out of 18, what that pointed out to me is that I looked, the one qualification that these other folks had that had higher placements on the Master Chief list is they had their trainer qualification, master trainer qualification. Now, we all know that competencies, you can earn them and then drop the ball on them and not stay proficient. All those things that are within that master competency, I've already done. So now it's just about me doing the training, presenting it again to other people to show them I can do it and getting it signed off. Of course, that's going to take time and energy. Same time, I have to balance that with the fact that I'm working on my project management certification. I also am finalizing my associate accreditation for being a certified coach with the International Coaching Group. And on that same token, I'm also 5 classes shy of finalizing my master's degree in organizational leadership. So then shifting to the home life, my wife doesn't work right now. She's currently getting unemployment. Unfortunately, she had an amazing job. An unfortunate part about the military is the fact that we always have to move. And my move caused her to lose her job. And that job basically made buku bucks. I mean, big bucks. And there's no job that she's seen right now in that same career field, medical field, that's offering the same. And that's because we just left Northern Virginia, close to DC. Now I'm in Southern Virginia. The prices are twice as, the cost of living is lower here, therefore they offer lower. So we've determined right now it's not even worth it for my wife to work. The amount of money that she would be making would not balance or be good enough for her to sacrifice all the time and energy and things that she can do to improve the current lives of my kids and their endeavors when I'm at work. So that's something I had to factor in. So now I'm the sole breadwinner. And so I got to take that into consideration in everything I do. So on the flip side, my kids, they have a lot of sports and things, recreational things. One of my kids does cross country, other one does soccer, another one does football, American football. So they're all over the place. And then they do Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. So of course, we got to take them to those events. In the past, I had done all this that I'm doing now. And on top of that, was a cabinet member for my local Cub Scout and Boy Scout chapter. I'm contemplating doing that now, something that's not truly invasive, something like outdoor coordinator, things I can do, right? Then at the same time, we just bought a new house. The house is amazing, but you can tell that the previous owners, they left it in original condition. And not to mention, they let somebody rent the house who basically did the bare minimum taking care of it. So we got a lot of minor repairs that got to be done to prevent them from becoming major. And so why do I point all this stuff out, right? Because you stack it up against what I have going on, right? I'm pretty sure there's other folks out there. Some of y'all definitely know what I'm talking about. You got all this stuff going on in your professional life. You're trying to, make moves, make more money, provide better for your family, get out of debt if you're in debt, things of that. And at the same time, you got your kids stuff going on, right? And life doesn't stop. What your kids got going on with their school, they need help with homework, their extracurricular activities, so they can continue to personally develop and grow as a soon to be adult or a child going into teenage years. Those things don't get pushed aside just because life's busy. They keep going on, and so you got to balance these things. And that's why I'm saying this. Why this episode is like, you got to set your priorities. So what that would look like, give what I got going on an example. All right. First priority, of course, is my family, because without my family, nothing else matters. And that's just my principle, what I find. So everything revolves around my family. So I keep that as the core foundation, which is everything I'm doing right now is to try to make more money so I can spend more time with them. Because more funding equals freedom. Now, I'm very fortunate in my job. There's a lot of telework, and I'm very efficient at my job. So I'm able to do 8 hours of work in 4 hours and have 4 hours of the day left for my personal endeavors. That also help my professional endeavors. Example, project management certification, associate coaching accreditation, my master's. These are all things that will make me a better person in the military and for my job. Therefore, I can do those things in another 4 hours. So that's how I basically set, those are my priorities when it comes to like professional part. Now, mixing that in with the personal, I want to have more time to go to these extracurricular activities, do hikes around with my kids, work out with my kids, things like that. So what do I do also in those 4 hours? I go on Upwork. I created a profile. I've done about 6 different jobs. I look for jobs that can be done in a week or less. Something that will only take a few hours of my day during that time. And so I also look for those opportunities. So I'm doing that. And by doing that and me being efficient with my time and knocking out 4 hours of my job, or correction, 8 hours of work of my job in 4 hours, that leaves me 4 hours with wiggle room. Of course, this is going to go into another episode, which kind of leads into more time management. If you're wondering like how I do that, I'll explain that on the next episode. So yeah, so now I've set these priorities, right? Now these things here, I'm not going to say they're immovable, but they need to be, every decision that I make going forward needs to consider these priorities. And that's to make sure that nothing I'm doing or signing up for is taken away from those priorities or is going to cause damage in the future and prevent me from achieving goals that are aligned or assigned to those priorities. And so that's why setting priorities is important. So your assignment for this week, your call to action is to write down everything you got going on and set your priorities based off your principles, what you find to hold dear. Set those priorities. And on the next episode, we'll discuss how to enact on these priorities, which is going to go into time management. Looking forward to talking with y'all on the next episode. Until then, peace.